Last week we went caravanning with our friend Tim, who we met at Descend on Bend along the Oregon coast. And this week we kind of just recentered, got our laundry done, cleaned the bus, got some work done, and we've just been traveling south fairly quickly. So this week we wanted to give you guys a tour of our bus, just give you a little bit more insight on what features we're working with, what our systems look like, and all that good stuff. So undoubtedly one of our favorite areas of the bus is our bedroom area. We have our Vignacco projector, and we also have a Roku that we use so we can stream from our favorite platforms. And then we've also got our DIY projector screen that doubles as privacy for the handicap door windows, and also so that we can obviously watch our projector. We've got all of Miles's clothes in the upper cabinets. You know, bus life, they're not all organized. And then we've also got all of our plugs. So we've got 2 USBs and also 2 AC outlets, and then our dimmable lights. Another item that's in the bedroom area is our mini split AC. It works really, really well. We don't use it very often. We have a generator that we purchased that we will pull out to run the AC solely if it gets super hot. It also does heat. We haven't had to use that yet, but we could do the same if we wanted to use the heat. And to be honest, it does work very well, but because of the windows, and just to save power, we will generally hang a blanket right here with 2 pins, and that way it just has this small area and it gets cold really fast. Underneath the bed, we have 2 oversized drawers here, and that is where I house all of my daily wear clothes items. It's quite large. We've even got some kitchen overflow in the bottom one here. Next, for clothing storage, at the beginning of our build, I thought it would be really important to have a closet area to hang winter clothes, jackets, and a place to kind of put shoes and extra miscellaneous things. Turns out it might not have been as necessary as I thought it was, but it is still nice to have an area for nicer things if we ever do go anywhere super nice. And then we've also got, it actually comes out this way a bit, so we utilized as much space as we could for, you know, this is harder to access back here, but it keeps all of our winter clothes like snowsuits and snowboarding, you know, gear, stuff for snow, which we don't see very much of.
This is our couch, which is also pretty much the majority of our electrical storage. Just inside the closet, there is a 2-way changeover switch that switches us from our battery and inverter power for 110 to shore power. So if we're ever out of place, we can plug in, switch that switch, and it immediately switches from the battery inverter to the shore power. And then we can switch the inverter off to let it just hang out. But other than that, we have our AC 110 breaker box in there, a DC 12 volt fuse box in there. We have a 400 amp hour 12 volt lithium iron phosphate battery, as well as our 3000 watt inverter, a bunch of cables, some fuses, and then there's additional storage for extra wires, electrical tools, and some other stuff that we tool-wise just stick down there.
So as far as the couch area goes, we will most likely be switching it out for a dinette setup. It's just something that we've noticed now that we're living in it that we think would benefit just functionally. But we wanted to do our build on a low budget. So we actually, well, I made this little feature piece out of some scrap wood that we had. And the cushion is actually an old mattress that we were able to cut up and recycle as our cushion. And it's pretty thick, but it's actually really comfortable. So it doesn't get used often, mostly by Kona and every once in a while a guest. Next, we've got our 7.5 cubic liter apartment fridge. We absolutely love it. Ice is very important to me. I always have a lot of it on hand. So a freezer was important, and our fridge is pretty stock full, and so it was very important to us to be able to go off grid and not have to worry about, you know, storing refrigerated goods. And then we've also just got a small pantry here. We don't eat much dry goods, but when we do, we've got a bunch in here and to kind of store it. So our kitchen is, split into two sections. We've got this countertop area that we use for prepping things, and then our sink, which is really big. It was important to me to not have to worry about doing dishes every day, so I wanted a big sink so it didn't fill up fast. Up here we've got just storage, extra storage, some cups that we've collected. So we've got lots of storage here. This is our biggest drawer in our kitchen. It's got all of our utensils, knives, Ziploc bags, stuff like that, and a little bit of junk. And then down here, we've also got just cleaning supplies and our 55-gallon freshwater tank. We wanted that stored inside for a variety of reasons that Miles could probably explain better than me. But yeah, that's our kitchen. I used a texture spray on this, and it was really finicky and hard to work with, but it was important to me to kind of switch up all of the wood that we had throughout the build. Then over here, we have a chalkboard. We use this for like daily affirmations, grocery lists, simple reminders, and then this little message that we probably won't ever erase. Another thing worth mentioning is if we don't want to clear out the bathroom and shower area to take a shower and we just want a quick rinse, we can actually utilize this as a second option. So that actually has been nice to just rinse off after the beach or the hot springs or wherever we are. We've got the second part of our kitchen. We wanted to separate it just to make the space feel a little more usable and functional. That way I could be over here and Miles could be over there, both doing something. We also have a little bit more counter space here, and it doubles as like a little side table for whoever's using the couch area. Stove top, it's got 3 burners, and then the oven is here. We use it a lot. It comes in handy for pretty much everything we eat. Then down here we've just got storage for cooking utensils, spatulas, all that good stuff, pans, oil, vinegar, stuff like that. And then down here is the majority of the storage for the pots and pans that we own. Squeak! Over here, as you can see, we just have a spice rack, and we actually did make that out of bus scrap wood as well.
This is our bathroom. So what we did here is we just bought a pan from Home Depot, a shower pan, so we could do our own walls customized. And we just got a nice big 12 by 24 stone tile and some gray pewter grout. And then on the other parts, we just did the cedar, and we really love how it tied in the stone with the cedar, and then we brought the stone up through the middle channel like everybody else does. And then just a little wooden framed out top little, I guess 20% of the window that's out there, just so we get some natural light during the day. Like Sinclair said, we store our portable toilet in here, a little toilet trash can. This is all of our soaps, the deodorants, anything that's a shower necessity that can get wet. And that's it. So up here we just did all custom cabinetry. It had its own like connection to the body, and then the front of the fiberglass conversion that was added on top, so we had pretty much almost out to here to work with. So we just decided to bring it straight across and then a 90 from here and make just 3 huge cabinets. And this is one. This is pretty much all of our medical stuff as far as, hygiene, toothpicks, Neosporin, Band-Aids. In the back corner here, we have our instant propane hot water heater. And then this pipe is for the exhaust to go straight out the top of the roof. And then these other cabinets are just all extra storage. Books, dishwashing stuff, sports stuff, yoga mats, coolers. Pretty much anything you could fit in there, we fit in there. Okay, so what I'm sitting on is a 2015 Ford Transit bench seat for a rear passenger. We got it from a guy on Facebook Marketplace that took it out, had removed all the seats out of his Transit. It has built-in seat belts, which is a plus for both of us. It's a two-seater, which is amazing, and we had to get the tracks off of eBay, so we ordered those, cut them to size, found a place where we wanted it, and then mounted it directly to the bus. So it's not going anywhere, but the chair can be removed from the tracks if we needed to do something, you know, cleaning, whatever.
Or access our doghouse.
Access our doghouse, yeah, exactly. And then, so this front table we built, we just put a little divider wall to hold our generator and a few other things like shoes, a couple of mats for outdoors, and then we just put a nice little plywood tabletop so we could set some stuff. And then this is for our drinks when we drive and other things that we need up here. Works out great.
So our front entryway was very important to us. We love the core matting. We had seen it used by a few other bus lifers for their stairs. It was an easy, cheap solution. These do come out. We didn't bolt them down because you want to be able to take them and shake them out. And they haven't held up quite as well as we'd hoped. So those will probably be getting replaced with something sometime soon. And then over here we've got our bamboo. We really did that just for the look. We had extra bamboo and thought that it would look really cool, so it turned out nice. And then here we were looking at tile options for mosaic style tiles and pebble tiles, and they were all very expensive and they weren't exactly what we were looking for. So we went to Hobby Lobby and bought out pretty much all of their craft stones, if you want to call them that. And we just got some mortar and cemented them in, and then just put this little piece, this little edge cap on to tie it all together.
So the bus itself is on a Ford E450 front end, and that is the 7.3 Power Stroke. We chose the 7.3 Power Stroke after doing a lot of research just because of its durability, its longevity, and one of the better diesel motors that you could purchase. We wanted to go the diesel route because the engines last longer, they typically get better miles per gallon, and the engine will last longer in the parts as well. So that was obviously a benefit, and that's why we chose the Ford E450 exclusively with the 7.3 Power Stroke. Okay, starting out here, this is our water inlet pretty much. So this is, if we have city water, we'll connect this, and we have constant water. This is our water fill to fill our 55-gallon water tank inside. And then a little lock. This is our 40-gallon gray tank, and it just has an easy turnable ball valve on the end. So whenever we get to a dump station or somewhere that we can empty our gray tank, we just twist the nozzle and it drains out super easy. This is our 30-amp electrical shore power hookup. So whenever we get to the campground like the water, we can have endless power. All right, and this is our back deck. It's a 4-foot back deck. We did a 4-foot to 3.5-foot cantilever, so 3.5 feet is inside of the back bumper. This is the external part of our AC unit, so the external condenser. So this is an extra little gas tank in case we run out of gas. And then there are two propane tanks. They're both 20 pounds, easily exchangeable at any gas station, Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, whatever. And this is, it's what automatically regulates. So when we run out of one tank, it'll automatically pop over to our second tank, and we don't have to worry about that. This is our outdoor table. Goes down pretty easily. Easily just over here. This one takes a little doing. Locks right up. So as far as the front door goes, we removed the old bifold door. It was electric. It didn't really close all the way and seal very good. We decided to get a front door, and I think that was always in our plans anyhow. So what we did is we pretty much framed out an open space. We bought a door that already came with a door frame, so we knew the exact measurements, and I framed it out so that this thing could just slip right in there, and we screwed it in, and it works like a charm. So starting at the front, that little guy up there is the flue pipe, which is the exhaust for our hot water heater. So the propane exhaust comes right out that. And then these two big guys right there are two 350 watt residential panels. We went with the residential because you can get them used pretty cheap on Facebook Marketplace, or you know, like a slight manufacturer's error that doesn't affect the actual performance. For relatively cheap, that's how we got ours. And we bought a big enough solar charge controller so that it could handle the voltage of the residential panels, which is something that you can also find pretty easily. Behind that is our 7.5 by 8 foot roof deck. We put that up there mainly just to have a place to hang out, watch the sunset,
Woohoo!
have a beer, and it's been working out pretty good so far. If you need any tips for constructing a roof deck on a shuttle bus exclusively, you can hit me up. On a metal school bus, it's pretty easy to find brackets and stuff. It's a lot easier on a metal roof than the fiberglass roof. So if you need any help with that, feel free to shoot us a message. But other than that, that's what it is. A nice old roof deck.
So this is our bus. We hope you guys enjoyed watching and getting a little closer look at what we did with our shuttle bus, and hopefully it helps you or inspires you in your own build.
And if you have any questions about the build that we didn't mention on this video, just send us a comment.
Yeah, he has the answers.